I just kind of was, stuck in the American culture, work hard, play hard, I was basically numb. So you prepared me very well. The picture was super clear and you were on it. And that meant a lot to me. It's really experiencing it that gives you the full understanding. My cycles are better. And it's interesting, when I was there, I slept really, really well. Yeah, that's the word, magical. You feel cleansed and just at the most peace you've ever been inside. And it is such a beautiful thing to experience that. There's no way I would have been able to get that here, a peace, an alignment. My mom, my friends were like, "You're glowing." And that's how I was when I got back. It's just something that you kind of carry now that is in there that you can access really easily. I'm going to keep the Zen with me, I got to make this last. I'm Suzanne, and I've been travel nursing for 5 years. I'm currently in California. I decided to take a month or so off of work and get some self-healing. That's kind of who I am and where I was at before the Panchakarma. I actually found you through my friend Jenny, and I think Jenny was recommended to you by a good friend of hers who had a wonderful experience and kind of helped guide us. But then when we connected with you, the picture was super clear on kind of what we were getting into and what we wanted, and just more of an idea, which was really helpful. Yes. So I knew I wanted to go to India. I initially just kind of wanted to go all through India and experience the whole thing, which was very intimidating and I would never do by myself. And then my friend Jenny had presented the idea of the Panchakarma along with traveling through India. And just from where I was in my healing journey, I just kind of felt like I didn't really need any healing at that time. But what I found out was I very much did need it, and maybe I was in a little denial. There was definitely a little bit of hesitation because I just didn't know much about it. I knew of Ayurveda, but it sounded good, and I just figured I'd go along with Jenny because that was my way to India, I mean, obviously going there and going through the healing and the detoxing and all that, it kind of strips away some of the mental stuff that we have around, or the beliefs that we create to kind of protect ourselves. And I definitely realized that I was wrong, and that I did need the healing, and that I was basically numb because I had just been working so hard and, stuck in the American culture, work hard, play hard, It was amazing because I really, deep down, I really wanted to kind of get back to that, but not in a way that is uncomfortable, like something's wrong with me, more of like, there's nothing wrong with taking care of yourself and stopping and kind of just letting go of the workaholic, and really enjoying who you are and just basically letting the body rest. So you prepared me very well. I mean, that was huge because I'll be really honest, I just like to know what I'm getting into, and I maybe a little control stuff there. But so I had a little bit of an idea. Every day, I had my own little space, which was very important to me. It was just, every day was very peaceful, and it just was a flow. There was not anything that was like super timed. It was kind of just like, breakfast between these times, yoga between these times. But yeah, every day, wake up, come out of my little mosquito net, which I loved, and go to yoga. And that was beautiful to have early in the morning with all the jungle birds. Yeah, that was really special. And then go back, wash off, have amazing food with amazing people. And then depending on whatever time the therapy session was, that's kind of how you would plan your day, which every day mine was in the afternoon, which I liked because I could kind of go to the ocean and swim, read my book, things like that, walk around, as much as you can Google it or whatever. It's really experiencing it that gives you the full understanding. The therapist that I had was the one for me. We just kind of really clicked. Even though she couldn't speak a whole lot of English, there was such a beautiful energetic language between us, which was really awesome. She was so nurturing. She was incredible. I can't say enough about my therapist. her hands are so strong, and you could just tell she's a healer. I made sure she knew that I was aware of that, and I was so grateful, But yeah, the treatments were interesting because the one thing I loved about it was that it was very authentic. I think it was more of an authentic type of treatment sessions, and that's definitely more my style. I love the little huts that we went into, and I love this. I don't mind seeing a little lizard on the floor. I love that. That's the authentic experience. Very different than any kind of massage I had ever had, because I was a massage therapist, and the medicines and the smells and the oils and all kinds of things. Just learning the long names and what the treatments were was really cool. And after having a treatment, you feel cleansed and just at the most peace you've ever been inside. And you just kind of flow with that for the rest of the day. Like I would just kind of like walk a little bit, and I would paint, and it would just be a really zen for the rest of the day, Yeah, it was great. Let's see. I think when I left, I just kind of was like, here we go, and I was open. I was just really open, but I didn't think that I needed like healing, but I was like, I'm going to go experience this, and I was all worried about like, am I going to work out enough? Am I going to stay in shape? Am I going to eat enough protein? All these little things. That's kind of how I was before and after. It's at such a visceral level. It's like, the body being a vessel. I think afterwards, I just felt really clean and at peace. And yeah, I think it's all about like, I could go into like the parasympathetic nervous system and everything, but one thing that we did a ton of was meditation. And that was something that, I've done in the past, and I can close my eyes and whatnot, but we really meditated a lot. And over the couple of days, I could really drop in and coming back with that there's no way I would have been able to get that here. It was a different kind of way brought deep into myself, a peace and alignment. And so, I think I just came back with this peace. And, my mom, my friends were like, you're glowing. And she said she could tell that I wasn't like as in my head, because normally I'm very in my head, and just really at peace. So that's how I was when I got back. And, you always hear these things like, oh, did you have the big awakening? And I'm like, it's not like that. It's not this, you don't come back and you're like, ooh, it is such a subtle, beautiful, deeper Zen that doesn't really, it has no ego, you know what I mean? It's just something that you kind of carry now that is in there that you can access really easily. Yeah, but every day I'm like, I'm keeping the Zen, and I'm going back to work soon. I'm like, I'm going to keep the Zen with me, I got to make this last. During the Panchakarma, it's intense in its own way. And I remember you saying that. I know plants are powerful, and I have a background in plant medicines and things like that. And I've been in ceremony type situations, where it is intense. This isn't intense in a different way, in that deeper way, like on a cellular level, just where you can tell the body's definitely going through something. I didn't feel great all the time, because especially on like the ghee day, that was tough. But I think that's kind of what's really special about it, is you kind of have to have those times that are hard so you can let go of all the whatever's in there that's not serving you, in that regard. But I had like some skin breakouts, and things like that. But afterwards, my skin was super clear. It's still really balanced. I can tell my cycles are better. My digestion is better. I usually get migraines, and I have not had one since I was there. She said it would take a little bit, because you're not going to go and be healed like that, and it was something kind of when I got back, that's kind of when my digestion started to get better. I am sleeping deeper, yes. And it's interesting, when I was there, I slept really, really well. Like, it was weird. I slept so good, because I think the body's just going through so much, it needs that recuperation time, being able to drop in, and the body can just drop in when you're sleeping. It is a very magical place, and I would like to say the people really had a lot to do with my experience. I would say that was, you want to say like, oh, the food was great and it was beautiful. The people are amazing. They are such gentle souls. Talk about the Zen. They carry the Zen. They are an example of that Zen. They live the Zen. And it is such a beautiful thing to experience that. Like the doctors, the therapists, just the people out on the town, the cooks, everyone was just so lovely and just so good people. Like you come back to America and you're like, you just miss that. It's like a gentleness. Yeah, I learned so much about the Indian culture, and I'm not just saying this, and I mean that. I love India. So grateful that I had a good experience, because I will be back. Absolutely. I know that I had a lot of questions. And even after our meeting, I was able to message you, and you were there and you were on it. And that meant a lot to me. Yeah, you really prepared me well. Like even with like little questions like, and I felt very prepared with everything that I took. And it just was really smooth because of you. So I highly, highly recommend people to talk to you. One thing that I love is that you kind of helped me, instead of just go to India and do it, you helped me kind of set an intention for the trip. And I think that's huge. That kind of set the tone of the trip and that they flowed through my trip. You did so well with that with Jenny and me. Your culture and those people and all those connections, there's a reason. And it's because you're passionate about it. And that's so beautiful. And you share that, it kind of ignites something in the person going, and that's really special.